At exact 3:07 a.m., Sam received a phone call. The number on the screen was strange. It was not a normal phone number. It simply said room 307. Sam stared at the screen. He was staying alone in an old hotel called the Blackwood Hotel. His room was 305. According to the hotel's owner, John, there was no room 307. The phone kept ringing. Sam finally answered. For several seconds, there was silence. Then a little girl's voice whispered, "Are you still there?" Sam forced. Then she said, "He's coming back." The call ended. Sam had arrived at the hotel because his car has broken down during a storm. The Blackwood Hotel was old, very old. The hallway light flickered constantly. John, the hotel owner, was an old man who had worked there for decades. When Sam asked about the strange call, John immediately looked uncomfortable. "Which room are you in?" Sam replied, 305. John stared at him. Then he said, "If you heard another call tonight, don't answer it." Sam laughed. "Why?" John did not laugh. He simply said, "Because some guests answered twice." Then he walked away. Sam returned to his room. He tried to forget the calls, but curiosity got the better of him. He opened his door. The hallway was empty. Room 306 was beside his. Sam walked forward it. Then he noticed something. There was another door beside 306. A small metal number was attached to it. 307. Sam stared. The door was old and covered with dust. He looked back toward the reception desk. John was nowhere to be seen. Sam stepped closer. He placed his hand on the door's handle. It was freezing. Then something knocking from inside. Knock. Sam pulled his hand away. Another knock. 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 Then a little girl's voice came through the door. "Sam!" He ran back to his room. Sam locked his door. He sat on the bed. His hand was shaking. Then his phone rang. 3:07 a.m. Again. Room 307. He stared at it. He recommended John's warning. "Don't answer." The phone stopped. Silent. Then a message appeared. "Why did you leave me?" Sam did not reply. Another message appeared. "I'm still inside." Then another. "He was not found you yet." Sam typed, "Who are you?" The message immediately changed. "Ask John." Sam called reception. No answer. He tried again. Nothing. Then he heard something outside his room. Footsteps. Slow footsteps. Coming down the hallway. Sam turned off his lights. He stood silently beside the door. The footsteps became louder. Step, step, step. They stopped directly outside his room. Sam held his breath. Someone knocked. 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. He did not move. Then a man's voice said, "Room service." Sam knew that was impossible. It was 3:15 a.m. He looked through the pit hole. The hallway was empty. No one. Then the voice came again. This time, it was directly behind him. "Room service." Sam turned around. Nothing. He slowly looked back through the pit hole. A face was suddenly pressed against the other side. An old man's face. His eyes were completely black. Sam jumped backward. The hallway was empty again. Sam could not stay in the room. He grabbed his jacket and went downstairs. The lobby was empty, but several newspapers were lying beside the reception desk. One caught his attention. The headline was that 1998. It says, "Family disappeared from Blackwood Hotel." Sam started reading. A family had stayed in room 307. A father, a mother, and their young daughter. At exact 3:07 a.m., Hotel staff heard screaming. Then they opened the room. Then the family had gone. There was no sign of them, except for one thing. The daughter's toy telephone was still sitting on the bed. The article said the hotel later sealed room 307. Sam looked toward the staircase. His blood went cold because room 307 was not supposed to exist anymore. John suddenly appeared behind him. You should not be reading that. Sam turned. Who was the little girl? John did not answer. What is her name? Silent. Finally he whispered, Lucy. Sam showed him the message. John's face went pale. He immediately took Sam's phone. Then he asked, Did you answer the second call? No. John looked relieved. Good. Why? John handed the phone back. Because the first call means she knows you are here. Sam stared at him. And the second? John looked toward the staircase. The second call meant he knows. Before Sam could ask who he was, the phone rang. 3:07 a.m. John looked terrified, but it is not 3:07 a.m. Sam checked the clock. It was 3:22 a.m. The phone still displayed room 307. John whispered, Don't answer. The phone stopped. Then the hotel lights went out. Complete darkness. A child's voice echoes from upstairs. Sam! John grabbed his arm. Don't move. Then they heard footsteps coming down the stairs. Slowly. Step, step, step. A shadow appeared at the top of the staircase. It was a tall man. He stood completely still. Then he smiled. John whispered, He's here. Sam asked, Who? The man at the top of the staircase slowly raised his head. His face was hidden in darkness. Then he pointed at Sam. The light suddenly came back on. The staircase was empty. John immediately ran toward the front door. Sam followed, but the door was not open. John pulled harder. Nothing. Then they heard the elevator. Then the elevator doors was open. Inside the darkness, the elevator display shows 307. John whispered, There is no third floor. The elevator door began closing inside. Sam saw Lucy, the little girl from the phone. She was standing alone. He looked at him and whispered, Please. Sam stepped toward the elevator. John grabbed him. Don't. Lucy started crying. Then she said, He found me. Behind her, a tall shadow slowly appeared. Sam saw two black eyes. The elevator door closed. The display says, Room 307. Then the elevator began moving upward. But the Blackwood Hotel only had 2 floors. Sam and John stood frozen. The elevator stopped. The doors opened. There was a dark hallway, old wallpaper, broken lights, and one door, 307. From behind it came the sound of a telephone ringing. Ring, ring, ring. Then Sam's phone started ringing too. He looked at the screen. This time, the caller ID did not say room 307. It displayed his own name, Sam. He answered without thinking. A voice whispered, You are already inside. Sam looked down. He was standing in front of room 307. John was gone. The hallway behind him had disappeared. The door slowly opened, and from inside, Lucy whispered, Welcome home.